You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to N2K Cyberwire's Hacking Humans podcast, where each week we look behind the social engineering scams, phishing schemes, and criminal exploits that are making headlines and taking a heavy toll on organizations around the world. I'm Dave Bittner, and joining me is Joe Kerrigan. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
And our N2K colleague and host of the T-Minus Space Daily podcast, Maria Vermazis. Maria.
Hi, Dave, and hi, Joe.
We've got some good stories to share this week. Joe, you want to start things off for us?
Yes, I will start things off with one of my least favorite companies and with an app that I don't use. It's the WhatsApp all the time.
Okay.
Part of the show. Meta has come out with a news release, and the title of this news release is WhatsApp, New WhatsApp Tools and Tips to Beat Messaging Scams.
Okay.
So the folks over at Facebook are taken some heat, I think, from, not only this show, because, how influential we are, Dave.
Sure.
Of course. Yeah. Yep.
But, globally, they're taking some heat against scammers. And they're claiming that since January of this year, in the first half of this year, they have banned over 6.8 million accounts that are linked to scam centers. Some of them operating out of Cambodia, to tie back into the story that Maria was covering last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That these sources are, or these the source of these scam operations are coming out of these scam centers where people are not exactly volunteers.
Right.
Put it frankly, they're slaves, which immoral, illegal. I don't know that there's any country that permits that anymore.
Yeah.
But this article goes on to talk about how scammers operate, which is kind of helpful. These scam centers typically run many scams campaigns at once, from cryptocurrency investment to pyramid schemes. We haven't had a good pyramid scheme story in a long time.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm
Let's
itching for a
let's
pyramid
get on
scheme.
that.
Yeah.
Somebody do something about that.
They got to be out there.
It also says that they're working with other people others to protect people, and they have a link to an article in here from OpenAI. And I'm going to talk more about that article in a second here, because they've been working with OpenAI, because OpenAI knows that they're used in these scams. So they've been collaborating with Meta has been collaborating with OpenAI to identify accounts that are pushing the output from known OpenAI scams.
Okay.
And that's one of the ways they're using to shut these accounts down.
And OpenAI are the makers of ChatGPT.
Correct.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
They have a video in here. I was scrolling down this article and I was like, hey, that's Rachel Toback. I know her. I don't think we've ever met in person, but she's been on this show a number of times.
Yeah.
So, I know who Rachel is. And there's a 2.5-minute video, which I unfortunately today have not had time to watch, but anytime Rachel Toback is talking about an online scam, everybody should listen.
Mm-hmm.
She is,
Amen.
I refer to her as the queen of social engineering and defense of that dark art. She is really good at the, I guess, penetration testing, the social engineering penetration testing.
Yeah.
And gives really great advice on how to protect yourself. So the article then goes on to talk about their new anti-scam tools. And I'm going to read this group messaging. They have two topics, group messaging and individual messaging. And it's very hard to say group messaging without messing that up. We're launching a new safety overview that will show to you when someone who is not in your contacts adds you to a new WhatsApp group you may not recognize. It will include key information about the group and tips to stay safe. From there, you can exit the group without ever having to look at the chat. And if you think you might recognize the group after seeing the safety overview, you can choose to see the chat for more context. Regardless, notifications from the group will be silenced until you mark that you want to stay. Which means that you kind of have to opt into a group, I think.
Okay.
Maybe. But my concern about this is just something that people are going to click through. They're going to say, "Oh, here's a new group that somebody invited me to."
Right.
Well, let me see what it says. Okay, I want to stand in here and see what's going on. And if the initial pitch is good enough, oh yeah, I want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Individual messaging. Additionally, scammers may attempt to first initiate contact with you elsewhere on the internet before asking to message on a private messenger service like WhatsApp. To protect against this traffic, we continue to test new approaches to alerting people to pause before engaging. For example, we're exploring ways to caution you that when you start a chat with someone not in your contacts by showing you additional context about who you're messaging so you can make an informed decision.
Speed bumps are always a good idea.
The typical pause, question, and verify steps that we always talk about here. Slow down, right? We say slow down.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and verify through a third channel. So really, if I can be critical here of Meta for a second.
Please.
It's not much. It's not much that they're doing. And I want to contrast this with the report that they cite in here from ChatGPT. So if you go to this ChatGPT link that's linked in the article from Meta, there is a PDF. It's a PDF link. So if you see that in the show notes, that's valid. And they have case studies of these different actors. It's like 7 or 8 case studies in here. I haven't gone through the whole thing, but deceptive employment scheme, IT workers. And then the summary is threat actors using AI and other technologies in an attempt to evolve and scale their deceptive hiring attempts. This, although they can't really attributions notoriously difficult, they say this is consistent with people from North Korea trying to get into tech jobs. Again, another story we talked about last week with the woman who was sentenced to 8.5 years. But they also have like tools, techniques, and procedures for these groups. So OpenAI is watching what users are putting in, seeing that these guys are automating the generation of believable resumes. And they're going, oh no, we're done here. Right? So they have another one in here, Covert IO Operation Sneerview, which I like the name of that. But they think this is likely China generating social media content and internal reviews. And then they go through some of the stuff that they put on Facebook. It's just them putting these fake media posts to create division on different platforms. And the last one I'm going to talk about here, I've got to spend a lot more time going into this report because it's really well written, is Philippines oriented. They're generating bulk volumes of social media comments about domestic policies. So OpenAI is watching what's getting put into its model. They're finding that people are exploiting their model, and they're banning people for doing that. Meta is saying, okay, well, thanks to OpenAI, we know who some of these people might be, so we're blocking or banning 6.8 million accounts. But I don't know how big of a solution that is. I imagine that's a sizable chunk of the accounts, but it sounds to me like that's just the result of an automated process. That this is, and good enough for Meta to implement something that stops these accounts. I mean, that's 6.8 million accounts that never got used. Actually, the Meta report says these were banned before they even got operationalized, which good, you're out in front of it. But the main crux of the Meta of what Meta is doing is they are informing people, hey, be careful, there's bad guys out there. Now, to be fair, ChatGPT is not a social media platform, right? You're not going to, I don't interact. Dave, you and I both have ChatGPT accounts. Maria, do you have a ChatGPT account?
A free one. I don't pay for it, but I do use it a little.
Right. So, I mean, I can't chat to Dave on that account. So I can't really interact with Dave. It's just me and the model.
Or can you with a facsimile of Dave?
It's a new challenge.
Right. Yeah. Right now, I want you to pretend to be Dave Bittner. And
right.
Dave is going to tell me that I'm his best friend ever.
Falling in love with AI things accidentally. Just kidding.
Oh, I love you, AI Dave. Dave, I just made Dave uncomfortable.
That's very uncomfortable. You did not like that. Sorry, Dave.
Anyway, so I guess a good move from Meta. I would like to see more like like what ChatGPT is doing. I mean, they're noticing that people are producing things at scale, and they're going, that's probably a scam.
Yeah.
And then they're banning those accounts. I would like to see Meta doing something more than that. Then, maybe the problem with this is a lot of this stuff is end-to-end encrypted, so they really can't have cognizance of that stuff.
Yeah. I just feel like Meta has no moral high ground with anything.
Right.
Like their North Star is doing what's in their best interest, in my opinion. And I think we've seen ample evidence to support that. And so, great, they're doing something against scammers, but has anybody noticed any measurable difference in the number of scams that you see on Facebook or any of their platforms? I don't.
The scams you and I were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Just flooding Marketplace with fake ads, or just flooding the sponsored links with those fake Yeti things.
Yeah.
That should be really easy to detect.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, how does Craigslist do it? I mean, they've been around since time immemorial, and they've sort of figured this out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah. Yeah.
Because maybe they have ethics. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, because they care.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Might just be it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess Craigslist has a different profit motive than Facebook does, and just different philosophical motive than Facebook does, right? Craigslist is happy being Craigslist and has no desire for world domination the way Facebook seems to.
Right.
They're happy being a handful
quaint.
of people making a good profit, earning a good living, and doing what they do, and that's it. They're
Like the artisans of the internet. They're very good at what they do, and they just stay there. Yeah.
right.
You kind of respect it now. It's nice.
Exactly.
They're one of the old guard, if you will.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
It's
going to
true.
put up a website and it's going to do this, and we're going to do that well.
Yeah.
And we're not going to try to be all things to everyone.
And yet I still hear lots of folks using Facebook Marketplace. So it certainly has its audience, and it's getting used a lot. But I just don't know how you jump around all those scams.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know.
We just bought a freezer from Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Or did you?
No, we did.
Did,
It actually wound
did
up.
you actually really? Do
Wound
you
up-
have it?
We do. We actually wound up
All right.
being from somebody who was in my neighborhood growing up, which
Oh.
was odd. That was completely random.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you had some social proof that this person was legit in theory.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Have you
Yeah, I
plugged the
think for
said
s-
freezer in?
I have
Yeah,
not.
it doesn't
yet.
work.
But I know who this guy is. I know where his mom lives.
Oh
Great.
boy.
That's nice. Suddenly this
So
guy's
how do we
mom
replicate
gets,
this at scale?
gets Joe knocking on her front door. You probably don't remember me.
Oh, she remembers me.
Little Joe Kerrigan from down the street.
Yeah, you were that jackass that lived down the street. That's who I am to her. And she's not wrong. I'm not saying she's wrong.
Oh my. And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. Allow Listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the files, registry keys, network resources, and other applications they truly need to function. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker. My topic this week is pharma fraud, which is, as you might imagine, frauds having to do with pharmacies. This actually comes from the folks over at Avast, who's a cybersecurity company. They make products that can help protect your computer and so forth.
I think they still make a free antivirus, don't they?
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, certainly. I don't know about free, but it's certainly in their stable of offerings.
Definitely in the AV old guard. Yes, speaking of old guard.
Yeah, exactly. They're one of the original name, the OGs of antivirus.
The OGs of AV. There you are.
There you go. Yeah. So before we dig in here, I'm curious, have either of you ever used an online pharmacy?
I use one that my insurance company provides,
Okay.
but I mean, I don't know that that's an online pharmacy as much as it is my insurance company going, hey, I'm cutting out the middleman.
Right.
And they're saying to me, for some medications, you got to use us for this.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
How about you, Maria?
Oh yeah. I try not to. I know the dangers of online pharmacies, but for certain things that I am trying to manage, it is extraordinarily hard to do it through my GP, and much easier to go through an online pharmacy and to use their telehealth and all that kind of thing. So,
okay,
yeah,
right.
They're also dime a dozen in the Boston area because of our us being sort of a medical hub. So there's a lot of them being advertised around here, and they seem to pop up like whack-a-mole, and then they go away, and it's just amazing. But hopefully they're legit.
Well, yeah, I mean, so for me personally, the only time I've ever dealt with one was I got COVID one time. I guess the most recent time I got COVID. I'm trying to think. I think I've only had COVID twice. But the most recent time I had it, I wanted to get myself some Paxlovid. And the quickest way to make that happen was to
Sounds like a Russian ballerina, doesn't it?
Paxlovid, yes.
Ivana Paxlovid.
You're thinking of a Pavlova.
Pavlova.
10, right. And the Russian judge gives 10... perfect 10 for Paxlovid. So the quickest way for me to get that, and when you have COVID, getting Paxlovid into your system, like time is of the essence. Indeed. So it was through Amazon. So I used Amazon's online doctor thing. You know, you go into Amazon and you say, I want Paxlovid, and it says, okay, here's how you do it. And you talk to a doctor and they prescribe you the Paxlovid. And then in this case, they called it into my local pharmacy. But I think if you want to, Amazon will just ship you the drug as well. So anyway, we've all had different experiences with online pharmacies. This article points out that there are a lot of reasons why people might seek out a pharmacy online. One is convenience, like what I was describing. You want something quick. You know, if it's in the middle of the night and you're sick, it's not always easy to get a doctor on the line to prescribe something for you. But a lot of these pharmacies are available 24/7. And another big one is discretion. You know, you want to get something prescribed to you, and maybe that's a tough conversation with your general practitioner, or maybe you're concerned about your work finding out about it, or, you know, something like that. So you want to get some medicine, but you want to do it in a way that's kind of on the QT.
Right.
This article points out that pharma fraud is rampant. In fact, they say that over 95% of online pharmacies are operating illegally. That Avast says they blocked nearly 1 million user attempts to access these scam sites in the first half of this year alone.
Oh, okay, so what's happening
the scale is massive.
I mean, like Amazon's not a scam, right?
No.
And well, there's one out there that Mark Cuban. I found out about this. Mark Cuban has one.
Oh yeah,
Cost Plus Drugs.
Yeah.
That's all low cost generic drugs.
Yeah.
Which is
great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
This is what billionaires should do with their money, by the way.
Full disclosure, I am a customer. That is, he has saved me a boatload of money.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good on Mark Cuban for doing that. But so these are the ones you get ads for, like the ones that come into my Yahoo email.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So these are criminal networks usually. And in this case, the folks at Avast, in this article, they were saying that they found a single criminal network that was running over 5,000 pharmacy domains.
We're going to do it at scale.
They do.
Cast that net.
Sometimes they hijack legitimate medical websites, so they will, break into a legit website behind the scenes to try to harvest your credit card or something like that. They manipulate search engine results. And one of the red flags is they accept crypto.
Aha!
Oh, boy.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
So there's a number of categories that they specialize in here. I think probably the one that first comes to mind for most of us is the sexual health category, and that's your Viagras, your Cialis, those sorts of things, and the generics of those. And I think, those are, talk about OG stuff. I mean, that's the OG spam, right? I mean,
right.
Viagra ads. That it's a
That's what always
cliche.
used to come. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
It's like cute when I get one in my spam folder now. It's like, oh, you're still
Right.
doing this. It's so
Right.
nice.
Oh, look at you. You made it through. Wow.
All these years later, here you are.
Right.
Still lurking about.
Yeah. But they work. And then, but the real hotness these days are weight loss. Thanks to Ozempic.
Yeah, there's something that might work on me.
Well, exactly. Like, and I think this combines a couple of things because people see that these weight loss drugs like Ozempic work, and they do legitimately work, it seems. But you can understand somebody feeling funny about going and asking their doctor about it. And being afraid that their doctor's just going to say, well, why don't you exercise more and eat less?
Right.
I say, but I wanted the easy way. I just want to take
Thanks.
a shot.
Why don't you give me some good advice?
Right. I don't want to change my lifestyle at all. I just want to be thin.
Right.
And, but also they're expensive. The things like Ozempic are not cheap. So if one of these online fake pharmacies offers an equivalent to that is, in air quotes, affordable, you can understand how people could get drawn into that. A couple other categories are things for like hormones and fertility drugs. So again, somebody who is a couple who's trying to conceive, or a person who's trying to conceive, or you could also imagine someone who's trying
not to conceive.
Trying not to conceive, right, exactly. Trying not to conceive, or perhaps someone who's trying to transition, and is trying to get hormones for something like that. And then antibiotics, general meds, things like that. But then also a category is misinformation. Things like, remember ivermectin for COVID?
That's making the rounds for a new thing now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I've been seeing ivermectin being hawked for another thing that it won't help with. Oh, dang it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's like amazing. Again, it's
right.
Not for that, but okay.
Yeah. So they look at the playbook here. There's spam emails with all kinds of fake credentials, lots of ads on adult websites or fringe websites, what I label the usual suspects. Blogs that pose as health advice, but are really just there to funnel traffic to these fake pharmacies. So again, that's taking advantage of search engine optimization. So if you search for, Ozempic weight loss drug, you might land on one of these blogs that has information that I'm going to guess is generated by ChatGPT, right?
Right.
But in the end, it probably says, and for my readers, my trusted readers, you get 10% off at, pharmacybros.com. If you click through right now.
If that's not real, it probably is real.
Yeah. Fake review sites with glowing testimonials. And then also they use things like domain hijacking. They say the sites all look real. But when it comes time to pay, sometimes you'll see some red flags like crypto payments, dodgy payment processors. Here's one we haven't talked about in a while, Joe. The try a different card prompt. Right?
Right.
Oh.
So they steal multiple credit card numbers.
Right. So you give them a legit card, and they get that information, and they come back to you and they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. For some reason, that card didn't work. Let's try a different one."
Right.
So now they have two of your credit cards. And then, of course, they'll ask for sensitive information, your birthday, prescriptions, social security number, medical records, all that kind of stuff.
All ways to steal your identity.
Yeah. But beyond that, I mean, some of these sites will send you stuff, but that's not always the stuff that you thought you were going to get. So beyond the ones that are just purely a money scam, where they're just stealing your money, stealing your credit card, some of them will send you something, but it doesn't mean it's the drug that you think you're buying, because there's counterfeit drugs easily available.
It's just
and not just
placebos.
sugar pills either. They'll actually send you something that will do something to your body.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Horrifying.
This article says some of them could have heavy metals in them, or they've even seen tranquilizers.
Heavy metals.
Holy
So
cow.
that you feel like
Jeez.
something's happening. So it's a real mess. They said some of the red flags here, if you see these things on a medical website, things like no prescription required, or prices that are too good to be true, not having a listed pharmacist, Of course, grammar errors, suspicious logos. If you can pay with crypto or gift cards, that's a red flag. And then time pressures. If they say limited time only, we're almost out of that drug that you're looking for, that's a red flag as well. So they say, to stay safe, stick to verified pharmacies, require a valid prescription, ask to speak with a licensed pharmacist, and of course, avoid crypto or sketchy payment methods. The FDA also has a tool on their website that can point you to safe pharmacies. They have it's called the Be Safe RX tool.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. So if you're in,
That's interesting.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can look it up on the FDA's site to see if it's legit or not. So that's nice. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other equivalents in other countries as well.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another website called safe.pharmacy, which evidently tries to help sort this sort of thing out either. But it seems like the odds are against you, because according to Avast, again, over 90% of the online pharmacies out there are not legit.
Right.
Those are not good odds, rather.
I would say start with the FDA site.
Yeah.
That would be my advice.
Yeah. For some reason, my pharmacy really, really wants to ship me my medicines. They don't want me coming to the store anymore.
No, I don't want to go there either.
Yeah, same. I'd rather them ship to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to stand in
person.
line and have only to get to the front, only to have somebody else go, "Are you sure you dropped it off?" I gave it
Come
to
back
you.
in 20 minutes, even though you called it in already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's frustrating all around. I was just thinking we are in yet again another perfect storm for scams on this one, because in many countries we've got a doctor shortage post-COVID. So just getting to see a doctor, if you have one, it takes a lot longer, and they're overworked and just crazy busy. And then in the US, especially right now, politically, contraception, hormones for transitioning is very fraught for many people in many states, and there's a lot of pressure on people to get those things.
Right.
I mean, so you've got those two items alone, and then of course you have, as you mentioned, Dave, like the shame of some of these conditions that people feel.
Right.
And that is just all of that's just ripe for a scammer to especially with millions of them. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So and not only people can't always slow down and go, I'll see if this takes a month, but that's okay if I got to take a month or two through my GP, because some people don't have that much time.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, we'll have a link to that story from the folks at Avast. We'll have that in the show notes, of course. I tell you what, let's take a quick break here to hear from our sponsor. We will be right back after this message. And now, back to our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. ThreatLocker Protect is the core ThreatLocker product focused on endpoint security, designed to prevent unauthorized software from running, control how applications interact, and manage access to storage devices. Its building blocks are allow listing, ring fencing, and network control. Allow listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the system resources they truly need to function. Network control locks down access by port, source IP, or dynamically with ACLs that automatically update as IP addresses change. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker. And we thank ThreatLocker for sponsoring Hacking Humans. And we are back. Maria, what do you have for us this week?
An old chestnut that kind of made me chuckle. We were talking about the OG pill scams.
Yeah.
And I saw an alert come up from the FTC today that I was like reading it, and I'm going, this looks really familiar. And it is because they posted a blog post recently that was almost a carbon copy of what they posted this time last year, because the scam has just come right on back. And it's jury duty scams of all the stupid things.
Oh.
They're back.
Well,
and the FTC
we'll have to
has
put
just
that
come
on
out.
the liturgical calendar.
We do. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but the FTC, I double checked the post they put up this year and last, and they're like, here it is again. We're just basically going to give you the exact same information. Don't do these things. And then I found a recent news story about, thankfully, somebody who didn't fall victim to a jury duty scam, but almost did. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to, for folks who don't know what this is or are not totally familiar, I figured let's just go through it.
Sure.
So the gentleman in this example, his name is Kirkland Collier. Thank you, sir, from Baton Rouge. And he got a voicemail. So it started with a phone call. He got a voicemail claiming to be from a sheriff's deputy. And they were calling him to say that, hey, dude, you missed jury duty. We sent you the little postcard in the mail, and I guess you threw it out. And Mr. Collier, being an upstanding American citizen, said, well, I don't want to miss jury duty. I'm going to do the right thing and call the police back on the phone number that they told me to call. And he was informed by the supposed police officer that he needed to pay a fee for missing jury duty, or he was going to face criminal charges. And I'm sure in some part of his mind, he was going, that sounds right, because you can be fined if you don't show up for jury duty. They do kind of put that on the card saying, you have to do this. You can't skip out.
Right.
So he listened to the person who told him, hey, you owe us money for missing your jury duty. So you need to withdraw $3,500 in cash and deliver
Which seems
it.
a little bit excessive for missing
It was
jury
a
duty.
little excessive for jury duty for like somebody's parking ticket violation, but whatever. And he was instructed to deliver it to a location. And when he showed up to that location, he said, wait a second, this is a gas station. What would a police officer be doing telling me to hand them cash at a gas station? So thankfully, Mr. Collier, in the nick of time, realized, and he said, this is the quote from the story. I said, man, I don't believe a single thing you're saying. I'm going to the police right now. So yes, he realized in the nick of time that this was a scam, and he went to the actual police and not the people that had called him to report what was going on. So he did not lose that money. Well done, sir. And he went to the news in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to tell people like, hey, this scam is going around. And the FTC on their blog post that also went up recently was saying that this old chestnut has come back. And in some cases, the scammers will say, yeah, please meet us at this location or send us cash. Other times they ask for payment in Bitcoin. There's that old tell. Or they'll tell victims that they need to go to this thing called a government kiosk, which I don't even know what that would be.
It's a cardboard box with government kiosk painted on the side of it and a hole cut in the side.
I'm imagining like
Put money
Lucy
here.
from Peanuts.
Sharpie.
The government is in, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. So yeah, that's not a thing in America. Maybe in other countries it might be, but it's not a thing in America anyway. And there are some. Well, not yet. Who knows? There are other versions of this jury duty scam where sometimes they direct the person to go to a website after receiving this fake call, and of course the website looks legit with all the scary looking judicial seals and legalese on it. And the URL may even seem legit-ish. And all you got to do to figure out how much money you owe is put in your birthday and social security number to look up their info.
There you go.
I was thinking about something very similar when Dave was talking about the try another credit card thing. I was thinking about somebody I read somewhere said, I'm going to put up a credit card checking site where you enter your name, your credit card number, and the CV code on the back, and
Check it
I
for
tell
you.
that it's fine, and you go about your day.
What a handy service, Joe. We should all just rush over right now and avail ourselves of that. It's great. I'm sure nothing can go wrong. Yeah.
Right.
So, enter your birthday and social security number on this website, and then they'll say, oh, yeah, you owe us thousands of dollars, and now here's how you can pay us those thousands of dollars. So yeah, please don't do any of these things. This is very much a scam. And the part that, as I mentioned earlier, it is in the United States legitimate that one can, in theory, be fined for missing jury duty, but the fine is like at most $100, and I think almost never does anyone ever get fined. And if a fine is actually coming your way, it's going to come through the good old-fashioned U.S. Postal Service, never by phone or by website. So yes, the courts are not advanced enough yet in our country to ask for crypto. So they're not going to ask for it that way.
Yeah.
And you will not get arrested. No cop's going to arrest you. So yes, it's funny because Mr. Collier at the beginning of this story, like he called the guy back, which is like an interesting thing. Like he's like, don't call me, I'll call you. But the number he called was the scammer. But thankfully all is well in his case that, he figured it out before it was too late, and good for him. So if you do get a call, the FTC, specifically if you get a jury duty scam call, to be clear, the FTC wants you to report it to them. So reportfraud.ftc.gov. So they are tracking this. So yeah, just thought that was interesting and just really funny also that it was almost the same exact blog post from last year because there it is again.
I have a couple questions here. I wonder if he had gone through with the meeting at the gas station, would the person that he handed the money over to, would that person had been in any way, shape, or form dressed like a police officer or like a
Can you
law
imagine?
officer? Right.
Because that
the police
carries serious
officer
penalties.
uniform from Amazon, just like a
Yeah.
Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that would be funny. Or no, I'm
Or
off
like
duty
a-
right now, but I'll get it to the station.
Right.
Who
Like a Toy Story Lone Ranger badge, you know,
Or-
clip to their shirt pocket, you know.
You know
Yeah,
what
with like the
would've been-
orange tipped pistol. Like
right.
would have been a good thing to do here is to say, hey, I'm at the call 911, go, I'm at the gas station right now. I'm about to give somebody who told me that they're a cop $3,500 for missing jury duty.
just say that out loud.
I've just realized this is a scam,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go in there and that guy's going to be there. It'd be an opportunity to catch somebody.
Right.
Do you want to do that? See what they say.
Yeah.
Probably say no.
I imagine they've got better things to do.
Yeah.
But just interesting. I'm at a gas station right now, and I'm about to hand some person $3,500. Do you want to do
Right.
something about that? I'm just imagining that phone
Stop me before I'm scammed again.
Right.
It's an interesting idea.
Oh my. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing with jury duty, like my sense is that they bring in so many people that if one or two don't show up, that's cool, you know, not a big deal. They have plenty of people.
Yeah, and you
My
can
experience.
often, I know it varies from state to state, I think, right? But usually you
Yeah.
can defer quite a bit. But yeah, I've never heard of someone being fined, even though they do threaten it. I
Right.
think it's just not worth their time.
I'm going to talk about something around me in my personal sphere. Like 4 or 5 people have been called for jury duty in the past 2 or 3 months. And I don't understand what's going on because I almost never hear about anybody getting called for jury duty. But like my son-in-law got called and got seated on a trial. It was a civil case, but it was over in a day, which was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But one of the guys I do some work with, he was out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Grand jury, if you're called for grand jury, you're out for months.
Ugh.
Happened to someone I worked with in the middle of getting ready for a product GA. It was the worst timing.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never sat on one. Usually, you know, when I tell them I work in the media, they're like, "Thank you."
Right.
You know. Or but I've been summoned several times, or I've received the jury summons. But here where we live, you can call in and see if they're going to need you to actually come into the courthouse.
Right.
Only one time have I actually had to go in, and that was just for one day, and didn't end up getting seated on a jury, and that was that. I've been lucky so far. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, when I was a stay-at-home mom with my daughter, so this years ago, and I got summoned after deferring for years and years, and they were like, "Can you serve on the jury?" I'm going, "Well, I'm just a stay-at-home mom with nothing else to do." That's the worst thing I could have possibly said because they instantly sat me. It was really
Oh.
stupid. I should not have said it. They were like, "Well,
Right.
here you are."
Right.
And frankly, I was
you-
really glad for the break. So it was
Yeah.
nice. I didn't.
That's right. Yeah. What you do is you say, "I am really excited to be seated on this jury because of my amazing ability to instantly tell whether someone is guilty or not." All right. That is, again, we'll have a link to that story in our show notes. And of course, we would love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like us to consider for the show, you can email us. It's hackinghumans@n2k.com. Joe and Maria, it's time to move on to our catch of the day.
Dave, our catch of the day comes from Adam, who I hope was smarter than I was last week with this service turn off notice. You want to go ahead and read this? This is from...
Sure. It's from Payment Declined. And it says,
Hi,
payment attempt
declined.
failure while renewing your subscription for SiriusXM. Your SXM subscription has expired today. Dear customer, we failed to renew your SXM membership. We tried to renew your subscription at the end of each billing cycle, but your monthly payment has failed. We therefore had to cancel your subscription. Obviously, we would love to see you again. If you wish to renew your subscription, click on the link below. In case of ignorance, your services will be completely suspended within 24 hours according to the terms defined in our contracts.
Case of ignorance.
Case of ignorance. In case of ignorance. I feel like I'd love to have a sign somewhere that says, in case of ignorance, break glass.
Right.
And actually, and then have the glass shattered and just little shards of the sign left,
In case of ignorance.
In case
kind
of
of beautiful.
ignorance. I wonder what they meant for that to say.
If you ignore I think it's if you ignore this message.
If you ignore this message,
Right.
yes, that's what it is.
Yep.
In case of your ignorance.
Right, ignorance.
Right. Right.
An
Okay.
interesting way of putting that. Interesting.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Adam didn't go, I better update my payment information.
I'll give them
No.
my social while I'm at it, just so they
Yeah.
can check.
Yeah.
Either of you guys ever use one of these satellite radio services?
I did a long time ago when it first came out. I was
Yeah.
one of the early adopters of it. I used Sirius.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was pretty good, but I think the premium music services are better.
Yeah. I had the free demo on my car. They give you a couple months to try to get you hooked
Me
on
too.
it. But
Yep.
which was great. Again, it's fun. It's nice. I enjoyed it. But there really was no benefit over what I have on my phone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
my car has CarPlay, so I
Mhm.
just use that.
Yeah,
So,
my music tastes are too weird and niche. There's no way
Yeah, same.
satellite radio is gonna have what I want. So it's like,
Mm.
yeah, I'm good, thank you.
oh. See, for me, I just put on Yacht Rock, and I just.
Ugh.
Oh,
Are you serious?
I said that for Joe's sake. I just cruise around,
I can see
listening
the
to
boat
Christopher
shoes now.
Cross and
Steely
Michael
Dan.
McDonald and Steely Dan, and just sailing takes me away.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
Steely
that's
Dan I
right.
can actually listen to. But
Yacht Rock.
the thing about Yacht Rock it's all the music you know by people you you have no idea who wrote the song
no,
or who performs the song.
it's fair. It's fair. Yeah.
Like, who is this? I don't know.
All right. Well, that is our catch of the day. And again, we would love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like us to consider, please email us. It's hackinghumans@n2k.com. Thank you to ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks, for sponsoring Hacking Humans. Visit threatlocker.com. And that is Hacking Humans, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We'd love to hear from you. We're conducting our annual audience survey to learn more about our listeners. We're collecting your insights through the end of August. There's a link in the show notes. Please do check it out. This episode is produced by Liz Stokes. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester. Peter Kilpie is our publisher. I'm Dave Bittner.
I'm Joe Kerrigan.
And I'm Maria Varmazis.
Thanks for listening.